sat down to film a video about some colored pencils I got in the mail today, and then I realized I don't think I ever talked to y'all about the trip I went on and the art stuff surrounding the trip. Makes it sound like there's like a big thing. There's not. I wanted to talk to y'all about art and travel from the perspective of somebody who is not a like travel sketchbook type artist, which those people are so cool, like seeing their gorgeous, travel journals and things like that. And also like the idea of somehow making that, like if you can teach like cool workshops and like neat locations, that is like dream kind of territory for me. Like, wouldn't it be cool to go teach a workshop somewhere neat? But then I also have this thought, wouldn't it be neat to just go somewhere cool and not have to work? So I don't know why I'm always like, oh, I'll turn it into an art class. And it's like, why don't you just go on a vacation and not worry about making it an art class? Anyways, it really would be cool to go to maybe some places that I've already... we are going off topic. It would be neat to do a travel workshop in a place that I've been to a lot, like Santa Fe or Austin. Austin's a destination too. Anyways, I'm just gonna let myself get off track in these videos and it's gonna be okay. It is like having to just stop and restart the filming because it's like, oh, I said something that's like slightly off. We're just rolling with it. Otherwise, YouTube videos are never gonna happen for me. So anyways, the main topic of the video, I do have an outline, so I will say all the things I want to say. Gotta keep it organized. The topic of the video is how art can happen while traveling if you are not an artist who specializes in, that travel journaling kind of stuff. That's a very specific art making. I'm also not a plein air painter. So, I mean, maybe one day I will be, but that's just not something I've ever done a lot of. And I don't really know if I'm particularly interested in that. But I like making art and it's relaxing and fun. And I do want to create art while I travel. I also am very much interested in documenting my experiences in my own sketchbooks, and so I can look back and have this different kind of connection than just what I have from photography. So I do like to create when I go places. So I want to talk about being kind of realistic about that. What does that look like? So the first thing is I guess how much focus you can have when you are in a new place. We were in a camper van and that actually was pretty chill. It's just me and my husband. It's not like we have a lot of like friends or family running around on this specific trip. So the focus part, I don't know, focus as well as you can focus, but it's still a new place, and a thing that was an issue for me with camping was light. It gets dark. So being realistic about that, being realistic about your energy level. There was one day we hiked 10 miles. I am so proud of myself. I would not have thought I could do that, but we did. It was like one of those things, there were a lot of trails where like kind of one would kind of loop around and then it'd be like, yeah, could we do another one? And we're like, I think so. And then it was like, wait, if we pick this trail, we will actually have hiked 10 miles today. Damn. So, and when I say hiking, it's moderate hiking, not like in trail kind of stuff. It was at the Sunrise Visitor Center in Washington, if you are curious. Great place to go. Anyways, but yeah, as you might expect, my energy level after that was not high. And I, for whatever reason, was like, I will make a sketch today. And it wasn't very good. That's all right. And the other thing is just how much time do you want to spend making art on your trip? You only have so much vacation time, so much time in the day. What do you want to spend it doing? And I know for me and my husband, we chose to go hiking or go explore a new place, or we were on the road. There really wasn't a time during the day that we, you know, would want to spend like 2 or 3 hours like doing a plein air painting. So just kind of being realistic about that. Creating art is something that I really enjoy and I do all the time. And so it's kind of like creating art actually isn't something that is only available to me on vacation. And I realize for other people, maybe that's the, you know, their reality. But, you know, choosing to spend my time doing other stuff besides just doing art stuff. And you know, I think that's cool, and that's the way that I want to travel. I sometimes really will get it in my head that I need to be like a certain kind of artist. Like, well, an artist who travels would have like a sketchbook that looks a certain way, or oh, well, they would do watercolor paintings of like a certain, you know, kind of thing. And yeah, it didn't really happen. I took tons of pictures. And that's really cool because now that I'm back home, I have a lot of really interesting landscapes that I can paint. I did one of those. I can put in footage right here of that. I have a footage of Mount Rainier, and I've been trying to familiarize myself with landscape. It's not something I've done a lot of, and so I have cool pictures that I myself took instead of just finding them on a stock photo site, and so I have that extra connection, and so I have a lot of reference materials to be a better artist that I also have a personal connection to. So I spent a lot of time on the trip taking pictures that I could work from later. So art looks like whatever you want it to look like, I guess. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but I know I need to hear that. I don't know why I get it in my just little brain that like whatever I do needs to look like something I've seen someone else do before, and I can do whatever I want. So now I have some bad news. A few videos ago when I talked about going to Marfa, I was super excited about the Etcher travel, I think like the Etcher Slate travel bag. So I brought that on this trip and I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. And it like pains me to say it. I want to like it so bad. It's got like a working surface. It's got clever storage. You can like strap it around you so that, you know, you can have it held against your body and it's like more convenient, blah, blah, blah. That's all really cool, and I'm sure works out really great in some situations. It didn't really make sense on this trip. And the probably biggest reason is that it really sucks as a carry-on bag for flying. So when I fly, I like to do the carry-on bag. You get a carry-on and you get a personal item. So I'll put like my clothes and stuff in like a suitcase, rolly suitcase thing. Those away bags are legit, by the way. But yeah, the suitcase and then your personal item, aka like a purse or like a duffel bag or something. And so my Etcher bag was my carry-on, and what kind of just sucks about that is the bag is designed for a certain kind of storage. It's holding my pens in place and things like that. But, you know, I've got headphones, I've got, you know, my wallet, my sunglasses, I've got like other things that I want to take with me on the trip, maybe some charger cords and things like that. But even aside from that, you know, what if I wanted to bring more colored pencils on my next trip? What if I wanted to bring, I don't know, there's something that's limiting about the specific kind of shape of the bag being so flat and compact. Whereas if I just had a bunch of zipper pouches and just a regular bag, I could fit more stuff in there. Now I lose that lap desk option, but it's such a cool idea. I really love the idea, but let's be real. I've got my sketchbook. Well, my sketchbook's already a hard surface. Like I can just kind of have that in my lap. So it just, I don't know, I didn't even use it once as a plein air bag the whole trip. I ended up being at picnic tables or at the table in our van. Now, maybe if I had gone out and actually done real plein air painting, I would have been happy I had it. So maybe the etcher bag is something that I would enjoy more if I was road tripping, or if I was doing plein air painting just here locally, but it's not something I think I would fly with again. It also felt just over designed, where it's like you're just like flipping it back and forth and it's like, where's my freaking pencil? And it's like, man, I wish I just had a zipper bag. Like if I had several little like pouches that just had my different like pens and one, pencils in the other, that just, I don't know, makes more sense to me. So yeah. The other thing is I wish it was a backpack. So it's a crossbody bag. And so if you were to do more involved like hiking and going of places, man, it'd be better if it's strapped on your back instead of like jingling on your side. And so even for plein air painting, I'm a little like, is this actually really working for me? So it pains me to say it. It really does. But that's just, again, being real about travel. So yeah, I'm looking at my outline here, and I think I've said all I want to say. And yeah, I'm excited to show you. Oh my God, no. I'm going to go do a sketchbook flip through. Jesus. We're keeping it. This is my new video style, guys. I hope you enjoy. Yeah, okay. I am gonna do an outro, but first you're gonna watch some like top-down footage of me flipping through the art pieces that I did do on my trip. So I brought my main sketchbook on the trip. I didn't really do anything that felt really like travel journal-y in it, but it was more like I happened to be in a different place and I used the sketchbook kind of like I normally would at home. I'm not going to show you everything I did in it because I just kept like a log of everything on the trip, and I don't know, just, you know, I've decided to be open and kind of candid online, but then I'm just not showing you everything. How about that? I don't have to give a reason. So anyways, hold this. This was just when I got my luminance pencils in the mail, just trying everything out. I think this is Neocolor over here. I didn't really like the way it handled on this paper. And you can see there's definitely like a kind of a color palette going on here. I did bring some extra green pencils and didn't end up using them. Okay, so skipping a few pages. This I was drawing from some photos I had taken at Cannon Beach. So I actually like these. These turned out kind of cute. And there was this kind of lifeguardy kind of structure thing. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting. It feels kind of weird. Like, I kind of look at this and it's like, this doesn't look like the sort of thing I normally draw, but it's also like, well, I've been pushing myself to draw new stuff, so maybe not. This text has nothing to do with the trip, but I'll go ahead and say what I wrote down. And that is the thought of using goals with a deadline as a punishment stick. And so that was something that I had heard on like an interview conversation thing. And I thought that was a really interesting thought of using goals to basically chastise yourself for falling short. And the people were saying that you should actually use a goal as more of a general direction to like kind of work towards. Because the thing is if you're working towards your goal and you fall short for whatever reason, you still are doing good work in the right direction. So I really liked that. And then I kind of expanded on that down here is accuracy as a punishment stick and accuracy as a way to mark failure. So that's just been something that is in my mind lately. I don't know if I've really resolved this kind of concept, but the idea that everything has to look perfect and has to look the most realistic. And instead of feeling like I want to do that because that's what I truly want, it's more of a way to show where I fall short as an artist. I don't know. It's been something that's just was on my mind, so I went ahead and wrote it down. Yeah, that's, I think, just some doodles. Oh, I did this on the plane. I am so proud of this. I was telling my husband, I posted this on Instagram, and I was like, man, if some other artist was like, look, I was actually productive during a flight, I'd be so annoyed. I'd roll my eyes, be like, whatever. I freaking did it though. I hate flying. It makes me incredibly nervous, but I had these cute pictures from the trip. This is dogs at Pike Place, Seattle. So I definitely was a creeper and was taking pictures of people's dogs. And this turned out really cute. I really like this page. So you can see here I used Tombow markers to kind of get me an outline. And then from there I went and added pencil on top. So this is luminance pencil. And yeah, they're very cute. Who doesn't like a dog illustration? So yeah, I did that on the flight home, and yeah, great way to kind of, if you can get in the art making headspace while flying, it can really make you not feel as freaked out about being in a tube, just like flying through the air at like, you know, just thousands of miles an hour. It's not natural, guys. It really isn't. And like, when you have to use the restroom on a flight and there's that little window in the bathroom and you look out and you're like, now I have to relax enough to pee. It's a lot. Anyways, okay, so that is this sketchbook. I brought several. So this is a gray sketchbook. It's a Hanamule one, and the sticker is from Emma Atterbury. So she's got some cool little skeleton-y stickers. So this sketchbook I got, and I actually pulled it out for the first time the night before the trip. Tested out a bunch of stuff on there. A lot of transfer. That looks kind of gross. So yeah, some doodles from the flight there. I think I drew that the night before. Just testing out the luminance pencils and seeing if I liked them. And I wish the paper had a little bit more tooth. So I didn't end up enjoying the feel of the paper as much as I wanted to. Yeah, I think this was on the flight, not very focused. This is from Rialto Beach. There was just a kind of dead tree out there. So this is Tombow marker. Not a big fan of kind of that area, but I do like the way that I used the grays to do that. I think this is a neat kind of style. This one didn't turn out so great. This is supposed to be one of those, like, I think they're called sea stacks, like all those rocks that are out on the coast. Didn't look very good. And I'm just showing y'all stuff. I'm just being real. All the bad things go to creating the good things. And it's really helped me a lot to let go of the idea that everything has to be good. And now I'm trying new things, different techniques, different medias. And yeah. Normally I would be working on both sides, but I didn't want this to transfer over there, which I realize now I could just wedge a piece of paper in there and it wouldn't transfer. But this is, you know what? I don't remember what it's called. It's right outside of Portland. There's like a big waterfall you can go to. And so what I was interested in, and I don't know if it's expressed super well, is there's kind of two layers to it. There's this like part that's in front, and then there's this part that's back there. So I was seeing if I could kind of imply that, you know, by using lighter colors back there. And the idea of trying to figure out how to work with like mist or fog or something like that is something that intrigued me on this trip, that kind of hazy look. I don't really care. I don't like this color palette altogether. I do like all of these colors separately, but altogether, there's something about this that looks like country quilt or something. So yeah, that is the gray sketchbook. And so now let's talk about Neocolors, Neocolor crayons. So this is new to me as well, Neocolor crayons. I grabbed some before I left town because a lot of people are talking about them and I was like, I must try them. So I'll show you just, if you're unfamiliar, this is where I was playing with them before I left. So this is a Etcher hot press sketchbook. And first of all, this purple is stunning on top of a dark color. So this is just, I don't know, it's some scratch page that had some brown on it. And then I did the Neocolors on top. So you can see this is it watered out. This is it kind of semi-watered out here. This is it on hot press. You can kind of see that there. Oh, here's some colored pencil stuff I did the other night. Just testing out kind of what style I wanted to work in. A little off topic here. Testing out what style I wanted to work in my travel journal that I'm going to do for the trip. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to do colored pencil, which I'm not. I'm just going to do acrylic. So I did some kind of little studies. I think this one turned out really nice. Also, here's a sketchbook kind of thought. If you have like a page that's like cruddy looking with like a bunch of just experimentation, you can just keep putting more stuff on top. So this is just acrylic paint. This is Neocolor underneath. And then on top of the colored, on top of the paint, I did some colored pencil. So it's a great way to kind of test things out, and you can just keep reusing those sketchbook pages instead of wasting more paper. And stuff for other classes. Okay, more Neocolor experiments. Yeah, so I tried to do a landscape, just kind of, I don't know, this looks gross to me. The way, it's very dense. I don't like the way that looked. This is just filling in kind of an area. That purple is really cool. I don't use purple a lot in my work. So yeah, and then I was kind of getting interested in kind of this color palette here. Color palette that does not at all really work for Pacific Northwest, which is what I was trying to figure out for the trip. So yeah, just scrabbling around on a whole bunch of stuff, just seeing how things work. So in the future, I could probably on this page, which is a whole lot of nothing, I could do more stuff like this and do acrylics on top. So yeah, just keep on layering, guys. No bad sketchbook pages. So I also tried it on cold pressed paper. So just testing it out in the sketchbook. I've decided I don't like the long horizontal sketchbook, so this has turned into a place where I just test stuff. And so you'll see there's a lot more texture in here because the paper's got more texture to it. But I don't hate it. The scrabbliness of it, and then they wash out beautifully on cold pressed paper. So this is just something to kind of weigh your options. Beautiful washes and textural drawing. So the drawing is smoother in the hot press over there. And then I was, I don't know, putting together some little color palettes. So what did I actually do on the trip? Okay. So this was the first one. This is actually the only plein air thing I did the entire trip. This was in, it's not in Port Aransas, because that's in Texas. Port Angeles. That was kind of the first place we stopped. It seems to be a town that you stop in on the way to go to other places. But we had a little bit of time to kill, and so sat on the beach and I was kind of playing with things, and I really love the colors here. I mean, of course it's got pink in there, grays and browns, so I really like that. But you can see that it's kind of, I don't know if muddy is the right word. It looks kind of dirty, and it's because I was not letting things dry completely. So I would like put a color down, I'd kind of wash it out, and then I would get really impatient because it just wasn't drying very fast and I wanted to do more stuff. I felt like in a hurry. So plein air, travel, art, tip, whatever, number one, try not to be in a hurry. I have to tell myself that all the time. There's no time limit. But my second tip would be dry time does kind of take a while. Have a second sketchbook where I can set this one aside, let it dry, and then pull out a different sketchbook while I worked. Everything I did, well, aside from this one, I did kind of in two phases. This one, our first place that we stayed the night, we used a hip camp, which is kind of like Airbnb for campsites. And it was at an alpaca farm, and it was just very magical. And this one ended up being very simple, but I really like it. I don't know, something about its simplicity is very fun to me. And when it's in a small sketchbook, I think that simple things work in a small sketchbook. Yeah, this one did not turn out very well. So the kind of challenge for me with the Neocolor crayons is working with in a simplified style. So that's not something I do very often, or that's not something that I have done as much in the past, something that I would like to learn to do more, because if you work in a simpler style, it means that you can do more things quickly on site. So I can be more spontaneous in my art making. So anyways, I was trying to get like some groups of trees. It's these awful stick deer at the bottom. And so it's challenging to figure out how to work simply. And it's also challenging to try to marry the sophistication that me as a fine, mature lady has to offer the world while also using crayons, right? So it can look like, I guess the design problem I'm trying to solve here is creating work that I appreciate the look of, fits the aesthetic that I'm going for, while also is still, you know, kind of a little bit more simplified and does have this drawing quality to it. So having a like adult sense of style and design and sensibility to a childlike energy to the mark making. So yeah, this didn't work. Oh, this also didn't work at all. I was like trying to, I don't know, it didn't work at all, so we'll just ignore that. This was from a cocktail, a to-go cocktail. Anyways, this one did work though. So yay, ignore the bad one. Let's talk about the one that I liked. So this is where I kind of figured out what strategy worked for me. So first of all, using a limited color palette definitely helps. Yeah, the colors on these are just bleh. And then also I just want pink on everything, and you can't stop me. I'm never gonna not want it. Anyways, so what I did is I kind of drew my main shapes of these sea stacks here. This was from Rialto Beach. I've drawn this, I think, several times at this point. And so did the kind of main kind of dark shape first, and then kind of got the kind of ocean in here, and then I wet it so that it would kind of melt the color into the page. And then once that was completely dry, so it took a while, had to set it aside, worked on some drawings or something. And then once it was dry, I went back and put the pink and that kind of a yellowy crayon over top. These ultra little fine lines right here is actually, you can use your watercolor brush and you can kind of pull that color out. And so you can actually get some fine watercolory detail there. But this one really worked for me. And I think part of that also is like kind of leaving the sky blank and leaving, you know, this kind of unfinished edge. This one I really like, because it has pink in it. This is from Nellahem Bay State Park, and there is that was a great campsite in Oregon. And so this was more of like a sandy, beachier kind of place, and so just kind of keeping my colors vivid and keeping it kind of like almost like a stripe, so it's kind of feels, I guess, a little bit more stylish to me. And so we still have that kind of crayon look. So this one worked for me. Again, I did it in that two-step kind of way. This is from Cannon Beach. And man, I really hate this right here. I really wish I had wedged paper kind of between it, but I kept forgetting. So there's a lot of transfer with this, so be careful about that. This is the Haystack Rock at Cannon Beach, and again, we got some pink in there, and got a little bit of a reflection, and so I really liked the way this one turned out. I like the way that the crayon goes on top of more crayon, I guess, and it gets me a smoother kind of color in, because I guess the texture of the paper has almost been filled in by that first layer. This is also from that same park, just doing some trees, kind of putting some fun purple in there. This one I don't really care for at all. This one I was so tired, and but I was like, no, I want to, you know, illustrate the place we hiked to, and what does not work to me about this is the everything of it. So comparing kind of the way that, to me, this looks kind of stylish. This to me looks like childish, I guess. The other thing I don't like, this makes landscape art really difficult. I do not like bright green and bright blue. It just, like, it doesn't work for me. I think, I don't know, actually, I just don't like green that much, which makes going to the Pacific Northwest and creating art from the things I saw difficult, because there's a lot of green up there. I don't know, I guess I'm just like a Texas desert type lady. Not as much green around here. Well, at we are getting off topic. Green. I don't like the way the colors went together, and yeah, it's just not my thing. I was super tired when I did this, and honestly, I should have just been like, I just didn't have the mental energy to try to design a nice piece, and so it's like, man, if you just feel tired, just don't worry about it. Don't make yourself do art if it's just not happening. So anyways, this is the art I made on the trip. It's nothing groundbreaking. I did not create my masterpiece while I was there. I did not expect to, and having that realistic expectation kept art fun for me and experimental and made it a good time. Okay, so now it's the outro, for real now. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope, actually, you know what I want? If y'all have any travel tips or anything kind of interesting about that, what are you taking when you're going places? What travels well? What doesn't travel well? Or like bag suggestions? That's just always kind of interesting. So yeah, let me know what y'all are doing and where y'all are going, and I will see you in the next video where I will in fact be talking about colored pencils. So yeah, that's it. Okay, bye guys.